Hi, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook. So, I had a different idea for a video today. I initially had planned to spend the day showing you how I was going to set up and kind of launch a contest for my community regarding a coloring page of a yarn wizard, and the winner was going to be able to have themselves or someone they wanted, if they didn't want to share their own picture, to be drawn into a similar character, which is like a fantasy slash fiber arts character. So like the example is where do I have it on me? Anyway, I've talked about before of a yarn wizard, but maybe you are like a knitting ninja, or maybe you're something along those lines, and they would get the pick. But I was getting a little overwhelmed and preoccupied with little things I've kind of had on my plate, crochet wise, project wise, pattern wise, that I want to either get a game plan or get out of the way, and some of them are kind of simple. So I think that's what we're going to focus on today. So what you see I have here is what I've worked on most of the morning, procrastinating starting the video. Girls, don't is a mermaid tail bag. As you can see, I'm nearly done. I spent the morning working on taking pictures as I worked it up for the pattern. It's nearly done. It's based off this version that I did years ago that I used to sell. Never did really sell, actually. But I loved it. I also had like an aqua version. So I was kind of thinking about it, and since I had this yarn left over from my mermaid hoodie, I thought I wanted to work it up into some kind of accessories. So this was one idea. I'm reinforcing this part, which I think made it better with some slip stitching to give it better structure, because this does want to like sag. So that's a little better, and now I just need to add the the strap. So this is nearly done. Pattern will be written up, and I'll probably just ask for one tester to double check that things do make sense and I don't have typos. Accessories are much easier. Other thing is, I have made this a while ago. I meant to sell it, or I was going to offer it for retail at like boba places. But I think it's cute. It's a water bottle holder, and I thought also I could make it to hold the actual like bubble tea cups. So I think that's a good excuse for me to go back again and get the cups, so I can make sure to work up the math for that size. So I'm going to rework this one and make a pattern for it, but first I think just for today I'm going to gauge my audience if they like that idea, if they'd be interested in the pattern. So those are two things that I can get done easily today. This is an ongoing project that needs to get done by Christmas, but I would kind of like to knock it out of the way because I have other Christmas projects that I need to start for my family. But this is a dress based off of a character in a book I illustrated. I need to kind of get a move on with these. Okay, so I Do Declare Norwegian Fair is co-written by myself, and I illustrated it with Carissa Bates, and I'm making this dress for her daughter, which is based off of the semi-Norwegian dress I made for the mouse here. So simple structure. I ended up doing a lot of work on it, but then I realized the skirt was too big. I'm kind of making a whole video on that as well, so I won't go too into detail, but that's kind of ongoing and something when I need something very passive, I just want to work up stockinette, I pick up this project. So that's in the works. Oh, also this morning, I did set up this tester application for the cottage apple cardigan. I already got about 8 tester applicants, so that went great. But I do have a video that I need to finish, and I do just need to finish the garment for the second version I did of it. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Let's see. I did like a Snow White version, if you've been following along. And so it's nearly done. I have the whole body done. I have the sleeves done that just need to be attached, and possibly a trim. The buttons are already sewn on. All I need is to finish cutting out the lining for the bodice, sew it together, and then hand sew it to this. But since that's just like, I'm intimidated by sewing, I've been putting it off, but it's like annoying me that it's constantly, it's so near done. I just need to take a day to do that. I probably won't do that today because the sewing machine is not accessible, but I wanted to note that that's ongoing. The other project that's ongoing is, oh, the free ring cardigan. I have a whole video doing this, and this is so long term. I'm not worried about it. I just like to make sure I do see progress on it, and have some concerns. I hope I don't have to redo it. It's really going to tell me if it's okay once I finish her face. If the face looks okay, I can fix everything else. So not bad progress, but considering this is still, you know, well, if at best a third of the body, maybe less if I want it longer, which I kind of do, and then I need sleeves. This is going to take me all fall, I think. So I usually just kind of want to work on that in the evening. So that's kind of in the background. And the last thing I need to do is at least pick out the colors for the next cottage cardigan. Why I jump to the next cardigan once I finish a cardigan, or even while I'm working on it, once I get to the repetitive parts, is because it takes at least a month, if not more, to test. And that means I also have to make sure and I have to write the pattern, which is complicated. I need to check the math. I need to do the application, which isn't much, but I just tend to procrastinate it. And then once I get all the feedback, make all the edits, and then finally list it, that's a lot of time. The accessories don't require that, so I can do those kind of whenever mood strikes me. I have about a month to do those. So I at least want to make sure I pick out the colors and maybe work up a swatch or two regarding that. So yeah, today is going to be focused on tying up some loose ends, or getting a little bit of a game plan in regards to some of these projects, as well as hopefully I'll make some progress on at least setting up the contest, but I do think I'm going to push it out a bit and I'll get it all done today. So let's get into probably finishing this pattern first. All right, I have finished the bag. I've added the straps. I ended up having to figure out what kind of cord I wanted, because a regular I-cord or a chain were definitely too thin, and I don't like to do like a chain and then single crochet back. So I did like a double I-cord, which I haven't done before. I sized up the hook and I think it's good. I just need to kind of add those notes to the pattern. I did a quick video on how to do it because I just think that's better help with visualization. So this is nearly done. The product's done. I need to take a picture outside and then write up a few extra notes in the pattern, and we are done. So that feels good. It took honestly too long though, which is the thing. And that's the last of my coffee. I think I'm going to eat, and then yeah, I'll take a picture of this and this if the lighting's okay, and then I'll post that, double check the application for the other pattern test, and then I think the simplest thing is to start choosing colors for the next cardigan, and then I'm probably going to do some schoolwork.
Children with disabilities from birth to age 21 for the purpose of granting equal access to education. A specific part of the law mandates public schools to create an individualized education program.
All right, it is the next morning. I'm not sure how much the light is going to show up today. So I did do quite a bit yesterday, but I lost light towards the evening as I was working on things. I worked on the free run cardigan. I think I got about 4, maybe 5 rows. Nah, that sounds too much. I got about 4 rows done, so I'm working on the other eye on her. But here I wanted to show, I didn't quite settle on colors yesterday, but I did start working out designs because I kind of got some ideas that I want to do something a little different. And so this is the acorn option. So this is something I did similarly without the sleeves for the sunflower. I just did kind of like a cami top or a baby doll top. And optionally, it could have sleeves. So this is very similar to something I've already done. And then this would be a hoodie. And reason I was also thinking the hoodie was because I could make the little, you know, ends of the drawstring with 3D acorns. I could just do a little applique on the pocket and may or may not do the stitch around the cuffs here. It might just be brown, and I think a brown around here later. But I'm leaning towards this because I've really been wanting to do a hoodie. Now, the other option was I either do the default cardigan style I've been doing, which is like an empire waist with flare out sleeves, or do something a little different for the leaves. Again, I might add an extra garment, but for now, there's always the one garment that I have to have. So here I would do some kind of open stitch like this for this, and so it wouldn't be a full long sleeve. It's like an open 3/4, and it would be a tie in the front, I think, and maybe the dangling again could have a leaf on the end. I think that'd be pretty. Potentially extra green leaves could keep going here or something. We'll play with that. It will be added onto it, so we'll see what looks good. Other option is this one. What are these called? Bolero? Where it's a very high cropped, just kind of over the breast, and then sleeves, which I think would be quick and pretty. So this is maybe something could easily be added on. This was another option because I've done like some cabling garments that had this structure, which were really pretty, but at least in the concept, it doesn't look all that good. It would be like a cream base with the green, but both my mom and I like these two best. So I'm having that be put to the vote. I just uploaded the pictures to, not Pinterest, Instagram today, this morning, and waiting on responses. For yesterday, I asked people about this one. I went and did a little photo shoot with it and got 7 yes votes, and I didn't really account for that. I probably won't get no votes, but I think what it does do is give me an idea of people who might be interested in the pattern. So for this morning, I'm taking it easy. I'm going to work a bit on this, get a row or two or a couple done in the round while I relax before I really start my day. And I have my coffee with me, and so let's see if we can kind of wrap up some of this to-do list today. You can see decently. So again, we're focusing on the hoodie, and initially, like, here's the little swatch I worked up. Just a little bit of texture. It's going to be a single crochet chain one, single crochet chain one. There are actually two different swatches in here. I tried two different versions, and I'm going to do the one where the single crochet stack and then the chains are in between. So I was considering this was going to be the color. It's the cognac, if I'm saying that right again. I was corrected before, but it is quite dark, and then everything would be quite dark. So my mom suggested going lighter, and I didn't want to go cream. The cream is going to be the acorn little bodies. So we're thinking gold. And so if you look at this will be the color palette. Let's see if I can show you better. Ta-da! It is gorgeous. It is fall. It is yum yum. Okay, so we have the colors picked out. I have the body for sure, and then obviously the acorns. But what I realized on the sketch is that the green would only be for the little applique leaf and nowhere else. Options are, I can make the trim, the ribbing, green. So it would look like so, which isn't bad. It just like brightens it up quite a bit, where I'm just so tempted to make it just very warm, which would be this one. And if I do want to do that, where could I pull them in elsewhere? So what I could do is, I thought on the pocket, could just add on the sides a little green trim, or even at the top here. That could be cute. I like the idea of it just melting into this, but we'll see. I'm going to get a pole. Option two is for the tube that's going to have and kind of trim around the hood where the little cords are going to come out of. Could be green, but I'm wondering, was like, is that weird with the other trims being different? I don't know. And then the cord itself could be green and maybe even one leaf off of it, potentially. I do think that's a good, safe route. I hadn't really thought about it, and so that to me now seems obvious to do. So that is the current like dilemma I'm having. And since I'm going to be working bottom up, I need to decide on the trim here. And I'm pretty solid that's going to be this, so I'm thinking the green will be in the other options, which I can decide all later. But I am going to see on Instagram if people have any, and TikTok, if people have any insights into how they would design it or what they think looks good. But yeah, if we accomplish that, and I am going to start the trim today, the ribbing, take some pictures, get that going, because what I like, since I'm keeping the stitch simple, is once I get the trim, the ribbing, and then work up just a few rows and take pictures of that and write those down. The body is going to be very simple, so I can mindlessly work this up for a good length of time, like a day or two, which will be nice. And before we have to do, I want to make sure I round the top, which is why I'm not doing the bottom down, which is my preferred method. But since I want to round out the back and the front, I think doing it from bottom up will help me achieve that. So yeah, that's where we are. I will start this, post a video and poll to Instagram, and good, we're making progress and I'm feeling good about it. Okay, so this has been working up really nice and quick, and I'm enjoying the kind of chunkiness of it. It's really getting me in the mood for the fall season. And yeah, so I have done the sections I mentioned. I went ahead and did the ribbing. That worked up nice and quick because the yarn was kind of chunky. And now I just worked up the establishing row, the row that included skipping one instead of skipping a chain. And so now that I've taken pictures and written down the third row here, that's going to be the repeat row. So essentially I've done what I needed to today. So I think I am going to take a break. I wanted to get this done while I still had light, but now I need to do some schoolwork. Something I am doing also is finally going on the coloring page contest. So what I'm doing first is I'm making an email for those on my email list to get first access to it. So I explained the rules and everything in there. I'm giving them access to the file. Let's see. So they'll have that there. Yes. So the file, where is it? It's going to be in this picture, Yarn Wizard, and they put their name down here. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Where is it? I use system.io for my email list and campaigns and things of that sort. So I'm doing this first to give them first access. And then if I have time this evening, I'll also set up a sort of sales funnel to give people access to it, so anyone who is not on the email list can sign up and get access to it so they can also participate. All right, it is late, so this isn't going to be the prettiest sign off, but just to kind of conclude, over the last 2 days, I did, I think, accomplish what I intended to. So here I'm going to work on this for another half an hour, I think, and then once it hits 9 o'clock, I'm going to switch to working on the free ring cardigan. And one more thing I'm trying to finish this evening is I'm doing a few more edits do a pattern before I send it off this evening to my pattern testers for the apple cardigan, um, cottage apple cardigan pattern. So I think that I feel very accomplished with what I've gotten done so far. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. So hopefully later I will finish up doing the contest things. I didn't get to set up the campaign today, so I'll hopefully do that over the weekend. And then I want to get some work done on both my crochet pattern book as well as my picture book. So yeah, that is where we are now. Sorry, it's dark, not a pretty sign off, but I will sign off here and see you in the next one. Alright, I thought I wouldn't end it off on such a dark space note. I wanted it a little prettier, and I thought we could do a little roundup of sorts, so kind of what I have. So as you see here, I'm getting nervous because I don't like, it's a little scrunched, and the ball's behind there. This is her one eye, and I can't tell if that's just really weird. Good news is I can, like, it's gonna relax and expand a bit after blocking. And I can duplicate stitch over if I need anything bigger, or I'm thinking of adding a little more lighter blue to her lower eye. And I'm working on the second eye. So right now it looks very weird, and since you can't see her nose or mouth very well, that's all weird, but hopefully I'm hoping it turns out okay. So that's the progress on that. I did a little more on this. I also got more yarn to just be working up. It's such a just easy stitch to work up. I'm enjoying having something so simple to do. It almost feels like I'm knitting. I have listed this and I did, right now it's drying. I have this upside down, but I have a boba cup from Share Tea that I'm going to make another version for. This obviously got finished, and I finished a pattern. Either today or tomorrow, I'm going to ask for someone off of Instagram to pattern test it for me. And then just a little quick side note, when I got this yarn, there was also a beautiful green and another green, I don't have it with me, for the leaf version. And I really liked it. The only problem is, while the chunkiness goes great with this, I wasn't imagining the leaf garments to be chunky. I wanted them to feel more light and elven. So I was trying to work up a sort of lattice open stitch. I'm liking the stitch. Alternative version is to use the Yarntopia, which is usually what I use, which is lighter. It's less cool, it's warmer, and I would prefer it cooler. And the problem is, I realized I needed the visuals to show you. So if I'm doing the Yarntopia, and this is the color I want the leaves to be. This moss color is perfect and exactly what I want. It's oddly hard to get the green I want, but this is this yarn. It's the chunkier yarn. So if I added it to this one, which the color match is fine, the leaves would be kind of chunky, whereas the garment's softer. So I don't know if that's going to work. And unfortunately, Yarntopia doesn't really have a green. It has this ocean, which I do love the color, but it's not the vibe I was imagining. So I'm going to see if people do like it. And then in Bambootiful is a green, but it's very close to this, basically. I've honestly like interchanged it. It's just like a stiffer version of this. So, but I just got on the show. I've done swatches for this. I'm going to be deciding on it, but that has been done. So as far as like picking colors, we partly got that done on this end, and then I'm working on it on this end. So that's kind of the roundup on things not here to see. I didn't do any work on the apple cardigan. I did make some listings and print on demand items for the Yarn Wizard image, and I'm kind of working on some others. So that was kind of done before I went to bed, behind the scenes, just to let you know. And I've yet again to do the campaign, but that is today's task and sending. I've finished tidied up the apple cardigan pattern, and I'm sending that to testers today. So that is everything. So I'm going to sign off now.